of course, for our friend Pratap for his Bentley Brooklyn Coupe 2008.
Good afternoon, I'm Pratap Singh Gaikwad and welcome to another episode of the Buggy Khana. This afternoon we have a very special guest. I have the chairman of the RREC India, Mr. Rajiv Keher. Sir?
Delighted to be here. Thank you for having me on your next episode of Buggy Khana. It's I think the greatest show in India on cars, and you cover everything. I'm we're delighted. Thank you for giving us this opportunity to speak about the Rolls-Royce Enthusiast Club, which was just formed earlier this year. We have Dr. David, who's the chairman of the Rolls-Royce Foundation and a board member, is here, and we've been able to curate this collection of Rolls-Royce cars,
Right.
of which you're one of the participants.
Thank you very much for the invitation and thank you for having me as part of the RREC as well.
We're honored for that.
It is an honor and what a great show that we've been able to put on over here. Not easy to get such a large number of cars, and that too from various parts of India as well. So I think a lot of credit goes to you, a lot of credit goes to Gautam for being able to sort of attract that attention and for people to come and support this.
Absolutely, because transporting these cars in India is always risky.
Correct.
And therefore we are super grateful to the owners who have stepped forward to let the public come and enjoy and see these cars which are part of our history.
And that's what's special about this event, because normally we go to these events and concourse, they're so sort of closed out. So it's access is very, very limited. Whereas today, as you can see, for the last 3 days, they've completely opened it. There is no tickets. They've given a lot of access to school children. So I think the turnout has been incredible. And for Mumbai to, get into an event like this and come so close, up close and personal to these cars is again a great opportunity.
Well, I think that speaks a lot about the people from Mumbai, because at some of the other car shows, when the public comes, and maybe those are relevant questions, they want to know what is the average of your car. They sometimes ask, is it running on diesel or petrol? But here I find that the public has been very appreciative. Maybe it's because Mumbai has had such a good historical tradition. There's been so much culture in the city forever. So it's full marks to the people here.
No, I mean, it's Mumbai has a very strong car culture, and it's actually been driven by the younger lot of guys. And we have regular Sunday drives. You have a lot of these guys photographing cars over the weekends. It all shows the sort of passion that there is, and everyone is very mindful and respectful. And as a result of which, even someone like me, who's normally quite reserved and I keep things to myself, but I've just opened up my doors and I'm more than happy for my cars to be filmed. Someone sort of comes over and wants to see them up and close personal, I permit that, because it's done with people who are passionate and they respect you, they respect the cars, and when that sort of thing happens, it's great to share one's passion.
Amazing, yeah.
So
because at some places, you may have people being anti this, but actually not. Here is great, and we've managed in this enclosure. We have it here, right in front of the director's bungalow.
Right.
We have a beautiful one-off bodied Anthem Derby Bentley. That has an Indian provenance. That's a Talcher car. There's a beautiful Silver Ghost 1920 Tourer,
Right.
which is still running with the original system. Several 20 horsepowers there.
Yeah.
We have 2025s, 2530s. That's one of my cars.
And this is the one, sorry to interrupt you, but this is the one I have the most interest in at the moment.
Oh, thank you so much.
Can I request you to sort of, take us through this, a bit of history about the car? How did it come into your collection? What's she like to drive? Because I know for a fact that you enjoy driving your cars.
Oh, that's the best part about it.
Yeah, and I think that's what sort of brought us closer together, because we share that same passion. They're not sort of garage queens or anything. They're not just kept there for decoration. You actually enjoy getting into the driver's seat and driving these cars. You take part in international events. You fly India's flag high in those events.
Thank you.
So, you know, I mean, it's great.
So whereas we're both fond of driving, actually I find it therapeutic. It allows one to switch off. You go into a different time zone. It takes stress away. And therefore, for that to happen, the car needs to run well.
Absolutely.
So I actually, when I bought this car, I bought it in England. It wasn't the car that I'd gone to buy there. I'd gone to look at another car, which on the photographs looked very good, but it didn't drive well. This was bought from the Real Car Company in Wales. They have an amazing collection of cars.
Right.
I went there and we went for a drive in it, and I was surprised how well she drove. And one of the reasons for that is a former owner was an active member of the Rolls-Royce Owners Club in America.
Okay.
And he really looked after the car. So I think it's important for the car to have been loved all its
Yeah.
life. Yeah, that's
I agree.
important.
And in fact, even when I sort of buy cars, the owner plays quite an important role.
Absolutely,
Because,
absolutely.
you know, you can gauge what the car would have been through, how the car would have been looked after. So, you know, to have access, and I'm sure these cars are extremely well documented as well.
Absolutely.
Of what they've
They-
done, the kilometers, you know, everything gets.
I mean, it's got old paint, about 50 years old. But look at the condition of the chrome.
Yeah.
The chrome has not been re-chromed by me, and it's still very good. It's not as good as a concourse car, but it's presentable. And the upholstery is original. It still has the Connolly upholstery.
Right.
Before I imported the car, I put a new set of tires. I think that's important.
Those are important. But again,
she doesn't rattle.
correct. All cars don't need to be made to concourse conditions.
No.
You know,
it's a
that's-
driver.
Correct.
And the engine on this is hers.
I'm
You know,
sure.
this hers. You don't hear it. It's amazing.
Yeah.
So
Even the stance of this car, you know, to me, I'm seeing it sort of sitting lower. And,
exactly. I mean, this is before I bought this, and this is my first Rolls Royce. I have 4 now. I always thought they were a little boxy and a little bit more formal
Yeah.
looking, and you look for a little bit more sporty style. So this is what they call a sports saloon, razor edge, which is why it's got those slim pillars,
Right.
and the back has this sort of sloping line.
So the
and it
ra-
also
razor
comes with, which wasn't always the case, but the Kneeling Spirit of Ecstasy,
Right,
which
right.
is a smaller one.
Yeah. So the razor edge is because of the narrower pillars? Is that
Narrower pillars is one of those features, but also if you see the lines, they're sharp.
right?
They're not curved.
Yeah.
And then the rear end slopes down. So that's a sort of a more, shall we say, a rakish line from that era.
Right. And while it is sort of sporty looking, etc., it's still it's very comfortable, luxurious at the back. It's also got a partition
Absolutely.
between
it
the driver.
has, it has a
and the,
disappearing partition,
Right.
which goes in. It goes in at an angle. It has a motorized rear blind. And it has 3 sets of horns, which comes in handy in India. One is a soft one. I can blow it for you if
Yeah,
you
could
like.
you?
Yeah. So- She's on.
Wow. Smooth and silent.
Yeah. So this is the most simple, which is almost sounds like a Fiat horn. Yeah.
Yeah. Oh wow.
That's when you really want them to move out of the way. And it comes with the sunroof.
Right.
So that's pretty cool.
Sunroof is on the
Right here.
right. Okay. Yeah. Oh wow.
That's it.
Wow. And I like that you've kept it as original as possible.
Well,
I
you
mean,
know,
I like it.
sometimes when you find a car that is in that
Right.
sort of condition, you almost owe it to the car to preserve its original history in patina,
Right.
because that's something
Yeah.
if you restore it, you destroyed what
Correct.
the history of time.
And that's a trap many people do fall into as well. Sometimes they over restore a car, right? It just doesn't look right, even though everything might be perfect, but it just loses its originality in some way.
And it's
Gorgeous.
Please, would you? May I invite you to come and sit in?
May
it?
I?
Yes.
I hope I'm not going to.
And if you permit, I'll shut the door.
Yeah, please.
And the engine is on.
Yeah, it's lovely.
I don't think you hear the car.
It's extremely quiet. it's an electric. Have you put an electric motor in this?
And after 10 minutes, it'll get even quieter.
Thank you. And I love the suicide doors as they're called.
Yes, yes.
Very comfortable and very quiet. I mean, surprisingly quiet. I mean, honestly.
This is. I have another 2530, a beautiful car.
Yeah.
But that engine is considerably noisier. It's
Yeah.
very smooth, powerful,
Yeah.
but it doesn't have the silence of this one.
Correct. So the 2025s and 2530s, they're the more usable ones. How would
Much
you
more. So the
compared to the Phantoms, let's say?
well, if you go chronologically, you had the Silver Ghost,
Right.
which is a unique piece, 7.7 liter engine, and it had the double block. Then they made it a single block in the Phantom 1. Didn't come with Synchro Mesh at that time.
Yeah.
And the 20 horsepower, which is attractive in a way because it's still feels very, shall we say, antique. Is a baby version of that car. The only drawback is it's somewhat underpowered.
Got it.
Then they came up with the 2025, and this is the last version, 2530 horsepower. So this is equivalent, but with a single carburetor to the 4.25 liter Bentley.
Okay.
The 2025 is equivalent to the 3.5 liter Bentley in terms of engine, other than the twin carbs.
Right.
So very usable. I've driven about 800 miles in the car in England, because when I bought the car, the previous owner had done 4,000 kilometers in India.
In India?
Not in this car, but
Right.
in my other 2530.
Right.
And it came with a book which said Rosie goes to India. So I said, I have to do Rosie goes back to England. You know? And
No, lovely. So thank you for
thank you.
taking
Hukum.
us
Thank
around.
you, Hukum.
Last
You know,
question before I let you go. The RREC, now that you've created an extension in India and you are the chairman, what plans do you have for that?
One is to bring firstly a platform for all. And RREC is open to people who have an interest. You don't have to be an owner.
Okay,
so
that's
it's much broader base.
Right.
So we're trying to reach out to the bigger community so that they can aware. Two, access to technical resources, because that's one of our challenges in India, because they want cars that we have specialized people in.
Right.
So that's another thing. Three, we're in touch with them because they're interested to do, car owners want to have experiences.
Right.
And so we're in talks with them to organize a rally where they bring international members to India.
Brilliant.
So we'll have that happening.
Right.
And going forward, we've also just yesterday agreed on that. The RREC UK is going to present 2 trophies to us, one of which possibly might be a one-time trophy, and the other ones are going to be a revolving trophy, to which we can choose who to give it out to. So this again will be, one, a connection between RREC India and the mother club,
Right.
and two, a way for us to encourage the members.
Yeah, brilliant. I think it's great, and to get people together, to have events like this where you can take your car out. I mean, brilliant. And I look forward to that.
Absolutely.
Thank you
so
very
much.
much.
Thank you for having me.
Thank you.